I'm back with the second part of my video. I had to cut the video short of 7 minutes just because if I go over, I have problems loading it up on YouTube. But anyways, let's get back to the topic. I'm going to state my opinion on the last part of my first video. Animal species changing over time through natural selection has been proven time and time again to be a fact. If you're looking for evidence of a land animal transitioning to an animal that lives in water, I would suggest you to look up the fossil records of whales, just because they are the most complete. If you're asking to observe a living animal changing from one species to another, either through one generation or even 100 generations, it will not happen just because it does not work that way. For a species to transition to another species actually takes millions of years to do so. If I told you that there is a lizard in Australia and in Africa called the skinks, through several generations has been gradually losing their legs and elongating their bodies, and also changing their behaviors and their diet, would you consider that as a species transitioning to another species? I'm not saying that is scientific proof of it, just because it's too early to say, but I am saying that animals do change over time, either through environment changes, or there's a dominant gene, or is beneficial to that certain animal.
Mainly because science is not a foolproof system. Science is made to be wrong. I mean, you find new evidence. 100 years from now, they'll have evidence that disproves things they believe now. So I'm not going to believe something that isn't foolproof. Okay?
It seems like you're saying that science is actually trying to deceive us or even lie to us, which is not true. When science actually finds new evidence that actually contradicts their idea or what they previously have as fact, they would actually correct the mistake and actually come out and say they're wrong. But in your case, you're saying that because they're wrong in certain areas of it, that means the whole system is wrong, which I have to disagree with.
So when it comes to creation, the reason why I believe in creation, not just because of DNA. Darwin, when he came up with this theory of evolution, he didn't know about DNA, first off. He saw apes, and he said they looked similar to us, so he came up with the conclusion that, we're related. We're distant relatives, or whatever you want to call it. And there's no evidence of it. There's no, creatures that show a half human or half ape or anything like that. So that's not foolproof,
I'm starting to think that you actually never really did try to study evolution, just because you're picking talking points that I would hear a lot from theists when they're trying to debate atheists or evolutionists, which they get wrong all the time. Now, first things first, you stated that you believe in DNA. Well, DNA actually supports the idea of what Darwin was saying. Even though it is true that Darwin actually didn't even know about DNA, which I wish that he did, because that would have confirmed his own idea of animals relating to other species. But also you stated that Darwin actually came up with the idea of evolution, which he did not. During that time, the idea of evolution was already there through other scientists and biologists. It's just that Darwin actually showed the common similarities of animals and also differences. that was beneficial for each animal. But if you're looking for proof, I would suggest you to look at the human genome compared to apes, gorillas, and chimpanzees, and orangutans, or even the chromosomes. I would suggest you to look up the biologist Ken Miller, who is a theist that actually supports evolution, and things like that. And also, what really gets me is that you say that you studied evolution, but you saying that there's no proof of a half ape, half human. Now, you have to understand that that's not actually what evolution tells you. What evolution tells you is that we are not actually direct came from the line of apes and gorillas or orangutans. We have a common ancestor, okay? So I'm just going to end the video now because it's getting up to another 7 minutes, and I have to get ready for so I can go to the Museum of Natural History. But if I come up with more opinions or questions, I will do a third part. So, bye!